discussing on how to deal with algebraic expressions when there's a bunch of steps in it in regards to expanding. So what we're going to be seeing is expressions which have multiple steps of expanding, and they are going to involve, first of all, expanding each part of the expression, and then after that, you would have to combine like terms according to what would satisfy the rules of like terms. So we're doing three examples in this video. This is the first one, and we have to go through it step by step. Now, in regards to the expanding, I will be directly using the relatively longer method without using the quick shortcut for the identities, although that would be recommended to make your life a bit easier. So now we start with the first one. Now notice how it's a power 2. This is referring to an identity. I will be writing it as a duplicate so that I can expand it. And the next part is directly double brackets. So you would directly just write it so that you expand it as double brackets. Now we start with the first one. You start x times x. X times x is x squared. Next part is x times minus 1. This is just minus x. Minus 1 times x is also minus x. And minus 1 times minus 1 is a plus 1. This is it in regards to expanding the first set of double brackets. Now we move on to the next double brackets and we expand that. 3x times 2x, this is going to mean you have to do 3 times 2, which is 6, and x times x, which is x squared. Moving on, we now have 3x times minus 5. This is minus 15x. And then, since we expanded 3x with both items in the second bracket, we move on to the 4. We do 4 times 2x, this is 8x, and 4 times minus 5, which is minus 20. Now we have a bunch of terms where we are going to figure out what is the like term and accordingly add them together. Now I'm going to highlight the like terms together so that this is easier. Now, x squared, those are both like terms. We have minus x, minus 15x, minus plus 8x. These are just both terms with the letter x to the power 1. And then we have plus 1 minus 20, and these are just constants. We start with x squared and 6x squared. This gives me 7x squared. I move on to my x's. We have minus x minus x. This is minus 2x. And then minus 2x minus 15x is going to be minus 17x. And minus 17x plus 8x leaves me with minus 9x. Last part, we have just the constant to deal with. It is plus 1 minus 20, and that is just a minus 19. This is it in regards to the first example. Moving on to the second one, similar situation arises, but a slight bit of a different expanding in our first part. We do not have double brackets, we just have a singular item in front of the brackets. So we also are going to use the long way of expanding the identity here again. This first part is not an identity, this is not an identity, this is the identity. So I will be writing this using double brackets. So it would be plus, and I write my 2x minus 1 as a set of double brackets. And I will now just expand. I start with 2x times 5x. This is 10x squared. And then I do 2x times minus 3. That is minus 6x. And we are done. Nothing left to expand in the first part. The plus kind of acts as a separator. We are separating between each step of expanding with a plus or a minus sign indirectly. Now we go to our next set, which is a double brackets for the identity. This is 2x times 2x, which gives us 4x squared. And then 2x times minus 1, which is minus 2x. Same thing is going to happen again. Minus 1 times 2x, this is minus 2x. And then we have minus 1 times minus 1, which is plus 1. Now we go to combining like terms once again, and I'm going to highlight the like terms once again. These are like terms highlighted in green, and then these are like terms highlighted in pink, and the one has no like terms, so I'm not going to even highlight it. Now I start 10 plus 4, this is a 14x squared, and then I have minus 6x minus 2x minus 2x. This is the same as saying minus 6x minus 4x, which is minus 10x. And then I just write my plus 1. Last one, this is going to be a bit longer. This is an example of a more complicated style question. We're going to do it using the same basic method once again. I'm going to go ahead and write my identity as a double bracket, but please be careful here. We have a number in front of it. We are going to leave that to expand for later. Right now, we're going to work on developing the double bracket for the identity, which is going to first mean I write it as a double bracket because it is an identity. And I'm going to just copy the rest of my given as is. Notice in the last part, there are no parentheses or anything. No bracket is going to be required here. This is purely there for you to deal with in regards to combining like terms at the end. Now we start our expanding. We start with expanding the double bracket. This 3 right here, you leave it alone. You don't do anything to it right now. You forget about it. You put it in the trash. You work on the double bracket. You do 3a times 3a. This is 9a squared. 3a times 1, that is a plus 3a. 1 times 3a, this is also a plus 3a. And then 1 times 1 is a 1. Next up, we go to our second part, which involves expanding, but this is relatively simple. It is just one number in front of the parentheses. We do minus 5 times 1, that is a minus 5, and then we do minus 5 times minus 3a. This is going to be plus 15a. Be careful with the signs. This is something that would trick you in some scenarios. And the rest of it is already in an expanded form. We don't do anything to it. This is what I meant by the 3 needs to distribute. So there's actually two steps of expanding here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to expand this 3, which is highlighted in green right now. It is going to expand into the parentheses, and it's going to go into each individual item in the parentheses. So I start 3 times 9, that is a 27a squared. 3 times 3, that is 9a. 3 times 3, once again, 9a. 3 times 1 is just a 3. And now I'm just going to write the rest of my terms for the purpose of combining like terms at the very end. Now the last step is the step of combining like terms. And I'm going to highlight anything which is a like term in the same color. Now, the first thing I highlighted in pink was an a squared. I also have a squared over here, so that is going to count as a like term. Next, I'm going to go to light blue, and I'm going to highlight anything with an a in it as a like term. That's also completed. And now, last part, I will highlight in orange my constants, plus 3 minus 5, and minus 5, all of these are constants. I am just going to end up with 3 terms. This is how much combining like terms simplifies our final situation. This is 27a squared plus a squared. I'm just rewriting it next to it. But I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms in regards to the blue and orange. 9 plus 9 is an 18. 18 plus 2 is a 20. 20 plus 15 is 35a. And now I just highlight my combine my constants, which are highlighted in orange. Minus 5 is a minus 10. Minus 10 plus 3 is a minus 7. Now, I did not combine my like terms right here, so this is going to be 28a squared. As a quick reminder, whenever you don't see a number in front of a letter, there's a 1 over there. And we write our numbers as needed. And that is it.